Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to the stream. Happy Thursday. Welcome, welcome.
Hey guys, good evening.
So y'all see the title. So this is a much needed thing that we need to address in these spaces. So I don't know how long all of us been here our community that we need to just address and just, get it on. I got some talking points that I want to talk about, but yeah, anything what you think about this? What you from your observation, Georgia, or what you been it's something we need to address. Definitely. So yeah. But the first thing I want to talk about, right? Is us having some sense of order. We didn't bring some sense of order and stuff to our communities, like, staying organized. Like we need to know who's who, what this channel's about, and not have no confusion. And that just leads to chaos when we don't know what are people actually here for, what are people doing, like what are people's purpose in these spaces. Like, me, I just want to be a discussion and debate channel. Like that's what I love. Debates, I love like healthy fun, like civil debates. Like I enjoy that. I love discussions. I love just having engaging conversations, hearing different viewpoints from people. That's what this channel's about. Like this is what I want to do. That's my lane. That's what I love. I enjoy that so much. So that's just, we just need to know who's who, what this channel is about, what this person's about, what this person's about. I just want to have some sense of order in these spaces. So what you think about that, Georgia? I just want people to like be honest about what their channel is about. Like we I think somebody else said that too. It's like if you're just here to, like, you just have a drama channel, just that's cool. That's cool. Just don't sit here and claim to be something you're not, and then you're causing a lot of confusion and chaos. Like just be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like there's millions of different channels. Like we just got to be honest and upfront about this is what my channel is and this is what it is, and that's it, right? So I think that'll just cause a lot of less confusion in these spaces, right? So you got anything to say about that? Like we need a sense of order. Like there's so much chaos and like there's too much. Like it's just like We need some sense of order. That's it. What do you think about that, George?
Yes, because it all boils down to peace being power, but there really can't be any kind of order or anything if people can't really grasp the fact that peace is power. And peace is going to be conducive to any kind of success that any kind of individual or collective is striving for.
Mm-hmm.
But how can we even be conducive to anything if there is a lacking of peace being power and stability and order?
You can't grow. You can't grow unless there's peace, right? If there's always chaos and commotion, you can't grow as a person. You can't focus on what you need to do. You're always, it's like your house, right? If your house is dirty and crazy and destructive and there's chaos, there's no tidiness, there's no organization, there's no cleansing. It's just dirty and filthy and fucked up. Like you're not gonna be at peace at all. Like I love what you said. Peace is power. I'm gonna take that to heart. Like I'm gonna like always keep that. I love that so much. I've never heard that before. So that's a beautiful thing to say, George. Or like peace is power. Like how are we supposed to grow and thrive and do better and as a community if we don't got the peace in order to grow? I love that. I love that so much. That's and I
Same
love that.
here though, and it also boils down to the ego though, and
Mm-hmm.
about your ability to really put to check your own ego because let's just be honest here. We all
Mm-hmm.
have an ego.
We
Even
all
the
do.
most peaceful and most orderly person has an ego because
Right.
the ego is just intrinsic to the human condition.
Oh
But
yeah.
just because it is and it's something perfectly natural, something being natural doesn't mean that it's always a good thing. And being very ego driven, is that a good thing? As far as I know, it tends to add some very bad points to a person's reputation. So if you can put to check like your own ego, which is what I would encourage us all to, like really work on and really incorporate like elements of toning down all kinds of drama, which is what the ego feeds off of, then everybody can actually reach their best potential.
That's all facts. Let me bring up. See, let's bring up a little article that I wanted to share real fast. That I wanted to.
Go
That kind
for
of.
it.
Let me bring it up. Hold on. Oh, it's not what I wanted to share. Hold on a second. Where is it? We overcome drama. Stream. Let's see the ID, the ego, the super ego. Yep. Yep. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Why is it not letting me? Hold on a second. Here we go. It's called Stop Being Dramatic. Stop the bullshit. How to stop being dramatic. 17 tips. No bullshit tips. Okay. Let's be honest. Let's talk about this. Drama is exhilarating. Exactly. Like we get a rush from it. There's a dopamine hit. Like it's something that's like addicting, you know? It's like, oh, okay. Ooh, what's going on over here? It's so easy to get caught up in it because I'm not above it either. I'm always the one saying, hey, I don't like the drama. But it's easy for me to get caught up in it too because I have an ego. I just want to feel like a quick sense, a cheap sense of like entertainment real fast. So it's like I'm not above none of this stuff either. I never said I was, but it's like I don't enjoy it because it has long term effect. It has effects afterwards. It's like junk food. You know what I'm saying? You'll eat it, but like later on, it's like, oh, I'm not really feeling good. You know what I'm saying? So let's be honest. Being in the middle of a chaotic situation can make you feel alive in a way that and the emotions run high, adrenaline runs through your body, you're engaged, and he said, she said battle. That's all these spaces have been about. It's he said, she said, he said, she said, like nonstop. So people have gathered around, watched the spectacle with some throwing in a few helpful words. Right? That's the ego thing too. Always feeling like you want to like save somebody or like be the hero of the situation or like that's the ego thing too. Like you want to feel like you the that's where a lot of this drama comes from too. It's like you want to feel like you're the good guy. Like nobody ever want to admit when they do wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because your
Yeah,
ego
having
value
oh yeah, having a hero's complex is
hero
actually the most ego-driven thing to ever have.
It is because it's like if you can't admit you're wrong, that's your ego stopping you from having a sense of peace. Because that's we need a sense of accountability, especially if you're always playing the victim. It's always somebody else doing you wrong. You can never take accountability for anything. You're never gonna be at peace because you need to take accountability to be at peace, right? So it say there are these scenes that made high school interesting, but wait, we're not children anymore. We're grown adults. I'm about to be 30, you're 30, we're grown people, right? We should be not be acting like children. So while some of us are been out of high school years even decades, our addiction to drama has not abated. The only difference is now it's less exciting, more exhausting. All the drama makes you feel anxious. That's how I feel. Like it stresses me out. I don't like it affecting your relationships. If you've been like, if you're like this online, imagine offline. You know what I'm saying? Imagine offline. Like, imagine you with like your family members. Like you imagine you going to like a family like get together or something. You start with your friends. Like, imagine that. That's not good behavior. Nobody wanted to. It's not.
Exactly, though. I mean, like, people who are addicted to it, though, know that it's not really the best
User
thing,
entered your channel.
but it's just also boils down with them just embracing their demons for the sake of attention seeking and for the sake of getting a fix out of something, probably stemming from boredom, or better yet, even feelings of inadequacy. Because more than likely, people who just have like those internal feelings of inadequacy going on, they're going to be pretty much prone to like drama seeking or just that attention seeking of behavior. But then again, though, all it just takes is being a lot more in the spirit, though, and just realizing that you already have more stuff in life than you bargained for to even be immersed in drama. That is just something that's unnecessary.
Hey, hybrid, and I want to be very clear here. This could be any one of us. Any one of us could be a drama queen or a drama queen and get addicted to the. This could be anybody. Okay? It could be me. I could fall into it. This pattern, you could fall. Nobody's above it. That's our ego too, thinking this can't be me, or I'll never. I could never be like this person. But yes, you can. Like, a lot of people are very similar in these spaces, but they act like they're above it when they're not. A lot of getting. Oh, my bad. But yeah, I just want to let everybody know, like, this could be anybody. We could all fall into these toxic patterns. We just gotta be, humble and aware of, like, let's not fall into this type of stuff. So
Yeah, then I mean, like, what I will also say in part is that, like, I think that I brought up a little bit earlier in regards to the public figure status. So just about all of us are content creators, which then makes us somewhat public figures. So on an individual level, we have to realize that as public like figures or content creators, you're making topics about a bunch of polarizing issues, which is also going to come with a lot of territory, because that also means that a lot of people are going to want to get in on it. People are going to talk about you 24/7 like they do about me, about how, oh, George Orr is the white supremacist of the Goldensphere, even though I'm not a part of any kind of quote unquote sphere. I'm pretty much a lone wolf. I'm going to deal with stuff like that, but I'm not going to let my ego get the best of me to where I have to feel a need to respond. Because as I've already said before, though, if people really want to know my story, there's a podcast about it on Spotify and all over the internet. But I'm not letting like ego get the best of me to where it's just going to translate into drama. Because like I said earlier, peace is power. So, in other words, a good way of overcoming like drama addiction is ignoring the backlash, ignoring the heat, realize that what you talk about in your public figure status is going to come with territory, and just go with the flow.
I
And
agree.
realize that you can't change everybody's mindset. This world's not going to always meet up to your specifications. And then just go about with doing what you do.
Yep, it comes with being a public figure, right? I agree.
Yeah, it sucks that people stir up rumors about you, or people just cannot really start letting go of things about you, maybe from like the past or whatever, though, or some kind of like unproven allegation. But then again, it's just a territory that comes along with being a content creator, which is why not everybody is going to be cut out for it. Because even people are asking me, though, like, why did you even get into this circle when you have people attacking you left and right for one time having neo-Nazi affiliations? I'm just like, I don't care, because I'm much more in the spirit, whereas these people are not really on my emotional or spiritual level. They're spiritless, and they're just addicted to drama. Because speaking about drama addiction, a sign, a noticeable sign of drama addiction is somebody clinging to the past 24/7. So if they're going to cling to that aspect, then they themselves are guilty of it, by the way.
That's a good point. I think forgiveness is so healing. Once you like forgive and move on, you kind of like you don't even be worried. That stuff won't even bother you no more. So I love that. I think that is like a good point when you like cling on to the past too much and don't want to move on. And I like that point a lot. I like that. So let me go ahead and read some of this stuff too. It says
I think
move
it's a
away
bit
from
contextual.
responsibility.
I want to say a few things.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's a bit contextual. We've got to be careful here. I think also remember because of your history, you're a little more vulnerable, George. Or so you're a little more like I can understand why it would be more because it's something anybody can just throw in your face, and it's something that's big. But for example, I don't have any criminal record. I don't have any history of abuse. I don't have any. So I'm a little more okay to go in the front and be open because there's not really. I mean, unless they're going to make up something on the internet, there's not really much. There's not much history historically. They can really kind of, you know what I mean? My record's pretty clean in that sense.
Same. I don't have a criminal record either. I've never even been arrested. But yeah, it's just folks are still going to find something about you, though, whether it's just because of the way you look or the way you talk.
Yes, yeah, but that's
It's
a
just
big
drama.
one.
Just that stuff.
For making a group of mulattoes, that's a big one. That's a big one too.
Well, I hate that we do that. We're always trying to find something to throw in somebody's face. Like, oh yeah, I just hate that we get so personal in these spaces. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like
I think that's part of the roasting culture too, where you even do like where it's if somebody has a mental illness or something, everybody like for some reason that's the circle of like the laughter, like they whatever kind of anything they can find out, or even when you just don't show something, and the fact that you haven't showed something, they will insert the worst possible thing in that space, just to kind of like right, so to kind of force you to have to either dox yourself or give personal information in a way that like, you know what I mean?
I hate that. Like, I just don't like that a lot. I don't think that's a healthy thing. That we are, just always looking for something to throw in somebody's face. Because it's like you got to be a very secure person. You know what I'm saying? I feel like insecurity. If you're an insecure person, I feel like you can't be a content creator because it's like you got to really be like own your shit. It's like, yeah, I did this. I know who I am, and you got to really own your shit. If you're a content creator, I really do think so because there's always going to be something that people are going to find some type of insecurity to try to trigger you into a response. Because some people like to bait people into like because let's talk about that was my second point, man. Let's talk about marketing strategy. This is all a marketing strategy for most people in these spaces, man, because it's like because I fell out with somebody because I disagreed with their marketing strategy. I was like, they think this is the only way to promote like our spaces and biracial channels and stuff, and we felt it was a disagreement or whatever, but it's like, hey, I can't do that. Personally, it's like I wanted to talk about my personal life. Like personally, I've been through a lot in life. Mixed race people have the highest rates of suicide on average, right? So it's like I just don't agree that us having a space full of toxicity and drama is healthy for it's damaging our community. So if we're having a marketing strategy in a place, we're trying to just promote our channels that's hurting our community and hurting like that affecting our mental health of the people who's your audience, who's watching this. It's just I can't do it. It's like no, I in my heart of hearts, it's like I wanted this sense of community so much. So why would I go out my way to like damage it just so I could get clout, views, and attention? That's where I'm coming from. That's what I'm saying. So it's like this marketing strategy of just using drama as like a cheap fix to like get attention. It's like it's so unhealthy. I can't do it. You could go on YouTube and look up marketing strategies and look up a million different ways to market you because I want to be successful. We all here to be successful on YouTube, right? We all want to like be successful in our own way. We have our own lane, right? Sorry, 1 second. We have our own lane that we want to do, but it's like there's always negative and positive choices that we could make in order to like, you know what I'm saying? So, but let me go ahead and read a little bit more of this article, okay?
I wanted to answer something on that. To add to that, I want to add a lot of this has to do with the intention of what the real intention people have, right? I mean, there's people whose concern is more about the group and they're serious about this. They want to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people who use the label or just they use it. It's something to market or it's an excuse to make content out of it. It's a grift, right? It's we get to sell the name, we get to use that and just. It's merely a way to get clicks and views, and if that wasn't the latest idea on their mind, they would jump to something else. And so, where they're doing something similar, but their concern is not for the group, so they don't mind starting a gender war or something because they're not really concerned about the group, right? They were concerned about whatever is going to is going to give them views, and if that's going to give them views and subscribers, then that's right. Then that's what they're going to do. And they also tend to over assert that everybody else is like them, even when they're not. Like, tend to overextend how much people are really just thinking like them, and we're all just lying, we're all insincere, and this is one big fake insincere thing, and we're all just, you know what I mean?
We need to take that seriously because there's so few people that advocate for biracial, mixed people, mulatto people. There's very, 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 very limited. There's a lot of people who do it for, Black people and Black causes, and that's great and that's cool. I love it. But there's very few people who specifically focus on us because we're such a smaller. There's not much clout and attention and views and stuff, and you could get off of us because there's not that. We're just less popular. There's not as many numbers, right? So we have to really take it seriously. Like, if people are really like saying they're going to advocate for us and actually be about us and try to represent us and try to speak for us and try to actually, like, we got to be like, are you really, really about this? Are you really trying to actually do things that are going to help our community and improve our status and improve our community, improve our lives? Are you just, we really need to that's the lesson I learned in these spaces. We got to really make sure and thoroughly be like, is your actions, are you walking the walk, talking the talk? You know what I'm saying? Is your actions matching your words? We gotta really take it.
Like,
Okay?
also, like, a good way of like ensuring that, like, as like your words can match up with your actions is simply don't follow people you don't like. Because after I've unsubbed from a number of channels, not only did I do that, but I also have noticed that on my news feed on YouTube, I kept getting their recommended posts. So I found a way to just disable that option so I don't even see them at all. So then that way the brain starts to gradually filter that person's name out of your head and out of your mind to where you don't even know who they are anymore. It's almost as if you've never even heard of them at all. So if that's a good technique in terms of curtailing your drama addiction. Like, I don't
Facts. I agree with that. I'm
I
subscribed.
don't keep tabs with people, like people that I've actually cut ties with. I have absolutely no idea as to what's going on. Like, I've even had people tell me though that, hey, did you hear such and such is talking about you as you were minding your own business? I'm like, well, I'm going to stick to minding my own business and not really care as to really what they're addressing about me, because after blocking them 100%, and even disabling the option is continuing to see their recommended posts after not even following their YouTube channel anymore, I don't know what they're talking about.
I think that's so psychologically healthy, honestly, because I can't imagine just trying to watch every single thing what every bad person's saying about me. I feel like that's not healthy psychologically. I don't think it's
and even if they are wrong, nevertheless, they're still a content creator though. I mean, like, they're still a public figure or content creator, even if they are like wrong 100%. But I don't really have to absorb their content or always feel like I have to like critique them though, because it just also causes me to get sucked into something that I shouldn't really even be into.
So I want to ask you this, Hybrid. I gotta ask you this. So what is the line? Because I hear so many people be like, I'm defending myself. So it's like, what's the point? Because I took that path. I just want to ignore people and just forget they exist and stuff. So I like that, but it's like, I know there's like so much you could take, you know what I'm saying? There's so much you could take when it's like so much, like, so it's like, where's the line? Like, how do we approach that where it's not, we don't get caught up in things and just always responding back and forth endlessly forever? Because some people bait you into a fight and they want to get that so they can have the drama, right? Versus like just ignoring and not responding. I think I love doing that. I love that too. I love it. Being unbothered. I love that.
That's great, but I think the situation here is a bit different where we have, let's say, even if we're in our own spaces, you have, let's say, like Futurist Gold and yelling at, like, I don't know, somebody over here and saying that they need to control the men over. Like, there are people who keep overreaching into the other groups and keep talking about. They say they're not like they keep overreaching. They think that they go beyond their own channel and their own people in the group, and they try to, right, like the way that even when Golden Goddess went to the other spaces, she marketed herself as like a representative of our space, right? It was a representative, and she, said there was these bad people there, and basically referring to us. So it's a lot more than just and that affects, of course, in the future like places you might later get people from. That's, of course, affects it.
Hold on, let's not name names. We're just trying to talk about like the overall.
Yeah, that's kind of like our rule though, is that we were not really going to like say anybody's though, because even if like people are like more wrong, no, never mind.
Let's look at what's this say right here. Recognize when you start the drama. You regularly find yourself in drama-filled situations, perhaps with even random people. Perhaps you are the catalyst. Now, before you get all huffy, let's look at the objective. Let's look objectively. Look back in your life. How many times have you been involved in drama? Situation, was it common for you? Denominator? Most likely it was you. Yeah, we all have started drama before. We all have been the initiator. We all have, you know. So let's take accountability. When we are the ones that start the drama, let's be the ones to take accountability and be like, hey, I'm starting drama. I've started drama. We all have before, unnecessarily for whatever reason, so let's just all take accountability. So when we do it, we could just keep it a book and be like, oh, you're not play a victim. That's it. So, okay, is it time to engage in a little self-reflection? Is there something, self-reflection is so important, guys. Like self-reflection, like if you have no self-reflection, you can't have any self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll just be out here looking crazy and not really have no self-awareness because you're not seeing how you're looking, So is there anything you do to attract drama? Do you seek out drama unwillingly? Yes, we all do. Sometimes when we bored or whatever. Are you attracted to it? Are you attracted to those type of people? And more importantly, ask yourself why. Sometimes we mistake a drama for attention. This is especially true if you grew up in homes where we were starved for attention or raised by parents. This is true. It always goes back to childhood, right? Where we were starved, always in the middle of something along the way. We learned to crave attention, whether good or bad. Ooh, this is good, true. Okay. The first step requires you to be self-aware to even recognize if you're the drama. So assess the crisis. Something that happens, someone has said something to you on the edge. True, we can't overreact, man. If somebody says like one thing about us, like, oh, this person, we can't sit here and act like they're like trying to threaten our family. Like, how assess the situation. I think this is a good advice. Can you feel yourself rapidly losing control? Before you react, assess the crisis. Does this issue really matter in the fact? Sometimes people get mad about stuff. You go to sleep, you wake up, it don't even matter. It don't even matter. Like, worry about stuff like it don't even matter in 2 weeks. I think that is such a good advice. It can be very annoying. The other person is quite possibly at fault, but whether it has happened, it will happen will it matter in the next 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 years, or is it worth the stress you're experiencing in the scene? Track your thoughts. Is it possible you're blowing things out of proportion? Oh yeah, we do that. Yeah, we do that. Could there be another explanation for what's going on, or is it, take a deep breath, take a few moments, consider the boy who cried wolf. He truly needed help. No one believed him. This is yes. This what you're saying won't hold no weight anymore. If you're so dramatic about every single situation, every single thing that happens to you, so when you really need help and actually something real happens to you that actually matters, who's gonna be there? Because it's like, oh, you always act like this over everything. You make mountains out of molehills, everything. So it's a good point. So build your self-esteem and self-respect. Yes. Are you drawn to chaotic situation because you crave the attention? Yes. Do you need the attention? Or I feel like self-esteem and self-respect, you're not going to need that type of attention from that type of negative, So do you feel that unless your life is shambles, no one really cares about you? Oof. Like people confuse pity for love, right? It's like, oh, if somebody's pitying me, that means they love me, but that's not true. That's not true. Do you mistake the attention they crave and find out what's going on? At least for a short while, you're the center of attention. People are siding with you, seeking you out, spending time with you. Without drama, you believe no one will be interested or care about you. When in actual facts, the drama might be driving people away from you. Exactly. That's all facts. You need to work on building your self-esteem and self-respect and realize not all attention is good attention. Being engaged in one drama after another is exhausting. Absolutely. Not only for the participants, but for the people who have to hear about it as well. Exactly. No one who values their peace will voluntarily give it up for a drama-filled life for long. Facts. This is probably why you continue to attract another drama queens into your life like a moth to a flame. Build up your self-esteem. To believe in your inherent value as a human being, you have skills and talents and interests that will yes. Love the person you are. Don't base your self-worth on how many likes you get on social media, how much negative facts. Bro, this is all facts, okay? All facts. Like, there's so much life out there. Like, you could learn how to bake. You could learn how to, you could learn exercise as a hobby. You could learn how to arts and craft. There's painting. There's so much like cool like stuff out there you could explore in life.
There's also like a lot more techniques still, because like also like drama addiction is also just rooted in just also the stimulation of endorphins still. But what can also stimulate those endorphins would be good workouts, push-ups, some good calisthenics, it's also what I do in order to release the beast. And then afterwards, though, there's just not really much energy left for any kind of like negativity or any kind of foul elements that we don't really need to be drinking from.
Facts. There's so many ways you can
Or
stimulate your mind. There's so many great ways. Like you can stimulate your mind. That's like not gonna like. I like what you hybrid. I like you explain the difference between an addiction and a habit. Like addiction is something that's harmful for you versus a habit that's something that's actually beneficial to you. But they could both be stimulating and fun. You
there's
know.
good
So,
habits and bad
Good
habits.
habit and
So
bad habit. Same thing, yeah. But the idea is addiction is a bad habit would be an addiction because it's something you do that is maladaptive. What makes the difference between an addiction and just something you do is the fact that it's maladaptive, right? I mean, we eat every day. We wouldn't say we had a food addiction. Maybe if we were eating too much, but there's certain things we do regularly, but they're not addictions. They're helpful and necessary. And addiction is when it becomes now harmful to your life in some way.
yep. Okay, this is a big point right here. Stop being a victim. Do you feel as if you have dealt with crummy hand? Do you have been wronged in life? Are people constantly treating you bad? Do you deserve a lot more and better than what you're getting? You might be attracting a lot of drama because you see yourself as a victim. No one is sticking up for you, so you've got to stick up for yourself. People are taking advantage of you, so you've got to fight for yourself. You've constantly on the attack because you feel like you are under attack. Stop focusing on how people have wronged you. Don't worry about what people are saying behind exactly. That's a big point right there. Don't worry about what people are saying behind your back. Adopting.
just exactly
Mhm.
goes back to my point earlier, though, in regards to like you being a public figure or content creator. Though it's just
Think
bound to
about it.
happen.
Yeah,
And
people are gonna
definitely with
We
my
do have defamation laws for a reason. I mean, they do exist, right? That's why we have them.
You said we have information laws?
I mean, we do have
defamation
defamation
laws,
laws for a reason. They exist
libel,
because of the fact that
yeah.
it's you're not supposed to do that. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that. We can have like a little debate versus like we could talk about that later. Finish this real fast. It says stop focusing on how people have wronged you. Don't worry about what people say. Adapting a victim attack. Look what is in your power to change facts. Empower yourself. Like there's things you can't control if people talk shit about you behind your back at all. Like there's no point. Like of course I agree with you, hybrid. If people try to go out and do like a whole smear, I could see that. Like that's one thing. Like defamation of people trying to defame your character. That's one thing. But if people are just talking shit behind that. That's one
No,
thing.
this is different. In this case, it's more about trying to make it harder for your channel to grow. The whole purpose of saying things is to demote your reputation, so it hurts your growth, hurts your channel. So that's very different. If people are just doing that and doing that, and you're not addressing that, then it might look like it's true, and that could, yeah. I just don't think it's this clear cut thing where you just ignore any kind of. I'm not buying that. But
I think you just gotta do what's appropriate. Like I think some things are appropriate to ignore. Like I don't think every situation calls for the same response, right? It's like some situations you gotta address what's going on. Like I'm doing right now. I gotta address like this problem, this issue that's going on in the community. Versus I'm not gonna just ignore like all this drama that's in the community that's been. Yeah, of course. I think there's certain times when you gotta address things, and there's certain situations where it's just best to just ignore it. And if it's what I'm saying, so. That's just I think like you got to just be discerning. Like you talk about that a lot, Georgia. You got to be discerning of like what is the best, most appropriate way to approach this certain situation, right? Because it's like we all just improving as we go. People make mistakes, and you just got to learn from your mistakes, and that's it.
Exactly those. I mean, there's one guy out there who's now saying that I'm a mass shooter who needs to stick to getting quote unquote peg, though I saw that video though, but I don't care about that.
I'm a pygmisha. You know what they say about me? I'm a pygmisha. I'm a copycat. That's what they say about me.
I address him as much
I'm a mass murderous neo-Nazi, so that's the narrative that he's going to roll with. So, but I don't care about that, and I don't feel like I need to even like dedicate my platform to any of that stuff though, because that's just the drama seeker just looking to instigate something completely unnecessary just for the sake of his own pride. What's up?
I think a lot of people know that the guy's full of crap. It's more the people that kind of believe
it's
him.
The people's if you know
somebody, they'll take anything he's saying, like, and it's like he's not giving receipts for anything,
Yeah, some people there's people who are credible. Like there's credible sources, and you know what I'm saying. There's some people who are just trying to, when somebody's not a credible source and they're just trying to stir up drama. And
exactly. I mean, I've already referred folks to my credible source by like multiple interviews in front of thousands of people on Spotify.
Yeah, you did good.
So that's much exactly, that's much more of the credible source as opposed to somebody over there who's just looking to instigate something just for the sake of clout chasing and attention seeking. Because even a mixed race girl who actually works in the field of like mental health, I showed her that stuff, by the way, and I told her like, hey, what do you think of this though? And she also described it as just drama seeking and clout chasing and attention seeking. If somebody made like a short video referencing me about being somebody who needs to basically get quote unquote pegged or is a mass murderer.
Insane. That's so crazy. Oh my god. Look, okay, moving on. Let me go to the next one.
Go on. Yeah.
It says focus on a here and now. Like it kind of goes with what you said, George, about not focusing on the past.
You know what, here, mommy?
So it says don't make assumption about the person's
Mommy,
actions or speculate.
Mommy,
Hold on a second.
Take your time. Our precious kids come first.
Share the right here with
She hear me talk. You know I like to talk. So she...
No worries. I don't know if you heard me. I said, hey, our precious kids come first. Hey, I want kids, so I'm going to be in your position someday.
Yeah, and that's
Hopefully
another
soon.
thing I think about like legacy and like But okay, so let me get
Go on.
through this. It's, live in the moment. Don't make assumptions about the other person and speculate or speculate about their motivations. Live in the moment. When you live in the moment, you can't look at the past or predict the future. You won't be worried about what someone said to you or how they wronged you or even about getting them back. In the same vein, you can't jump to conclusions about someone's reaction or assume that they will respond, what their response will be. You can't change the past, or you could be wrong. And you could be wrong about the future. Yep. Save yourself the hassle of worrying about the two and live in the moment. I agree. That's so good. Okay, act rationally and not emotionally. I agree.
Lots
We
of
can't let
problems with
them.
that. Lots of problems with that. So you can say something like, "I should get drunk tonight because it's in the moment, and who cares about the future?" There's lots of problems with that principle there.
Oh yeah, the whole YOLO thing. Yeah, that's a good point. You can't totally live. You got to definitely plan for
If
the
you don't
future.
pay attention to the future, no, of course you got to. You can't get around society if you can't predict the future. Just the idea that you think that when you open the door, it's going to open is a prediction, right? That it's not going to open it, and you're going to fall into a space porthole into right? It's not going to. You have some predictability. You need some predictability to get around. So I think I think that's a bit, and I think
Well,
that sounds.
okay.
I feel that document is talking more towards women. It's kind of like maybe gay
More
men,
towards
that kind of drama.
women.
And gay men, yeah, and gay men, the drama
No.
queens, the drama
Why
queen
does
types. I think
everything got to
that's
be about gay men? Or wait, look. No, I think in the context of what they're saying, like this is about stop being a dramatic. I don't know. I think
yeah, it's like
yeah,
stop being a
I
drama
think it's
queen.
more of a
That's
feminine
a treat.
thing to
That's more,
be.
yeah.
I see what you're saying. It is more of a feminine thing to be like a drama queen or like always dramatic about all the time. I guess that is more like a feminine thing. Let's be real. So yeah, I can see what you're saying. But anyways, okay. But don't act like men don't be in the drama. Don't act like they don't be. They love to be in the mess and the drama too. So don't act like it's not only women. It's not only.
No. I'm talking about like with the way that I'm hearing, because remember I have a background in cognitive science, right? So I'm saying the way that the article's reading, it sounds like the target of the audience is more towards that side of that spectrum. It's
More
not.
towards women. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's act rationally, not emotionally. But I do think about like in the context of you not being dramatic and always being in drama. I think what it's saying, live in the moment, don't worry about the past too much and don't worry about the future too much. But of course, like when it comes to like everyday life, you gotta predict the future and like plan for the future. And of course, but just in the context of like not just
But
being dramatic.
there, it sounds like it's talking more about like somebody you've never known before, like as if this is a new person, a random person off the street, and then they came to you. Well, yeah, you don't have any information to make a judgment based to. You don't have any information to base what their reasons could be. But I mean, if we're gonna be able to arrest any criminal, we need to have
Oh,
mens
if
rea.
you got like a behavioral pattern, I see what you're saying. If somebody has like a pattern,
guilty mind.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me finish. Okay. We know they're being reactive or responding emotionally, particularly when we're in a situation. That's why taking a 5-minute timeout. I do think we need to sit here. I believe in not acting on your emotions, but like sitting with your emotions and processing them before you like don't like if you act on your emotion, that's how you get locked up. That's how you end up doing some stuff that's, you could hurt people like that. You could,
Can I
not
add a little bit of nuance to that? People tend to oversimplify things and like you're emotional, you're not emotional, as if it's like you're automatically
we all
logical.
have emotions.
Emotions are a necessary condition for you to even be
Exactly. It's a
logical. Like
human
without
thing.
the word comes from like endo motion, so internalized motion, so movement from
It's
within
energy and
coming outwards.
motion. Hmm.
Yes, you never really don't. There's different kinds of emotions, and we tend to always go like, well, because men can be emotional. We think men get angry, but we tend to not
You
count
get
that as an
angry.
emotion. But so it's not a
Yeah.
matter of being not emotional, but it's not being self-aware that you are being overreact or that you're over emotional. And maybe you want to wait to make your decision. For example, I'm too low
Mhm.
charged. Maybe you should wait till I'm gonna calm down, take a breath. Basically, what they say is, don't react, respond, right? So don't
Period.
react. It's
Exactly.
like a flinch,
Don't
but
be
wait and
reactive.
respond
Respond.
calculatively and
That
calmly.
has changed my life. I used to be very reactive as well. I used to just always just on the flip side, always react, and that's gotten me nowhere in life. Like that has not helped my life at all. It's always that's
People, yeah.
that's
People always have to be ready to listen as opposed to reacting to what people do the polar opposite.
that has not that's completely messed up my life. So
Our
learning
reaction
how to
responses are
respond,
designed for
yeah,
like nature or something. Like if you're in the jungle and you have to react without even thinking,
yeah,
because
that's like some
it's safer to just react.
yeah. If you got like a lion chasing you type of thing,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you're
You just
gonna
gotta
go
react.
fast.
Yeah.
Everyday regular life, the fight or flight response, you need to really like calm your brain
Responding takes
down.
more mental energy. It takes more
Yes,
cognitive energy to
you
carefully
have to.
respond.
I think it's an important skill. That skill has like I practice that as a practice. Like you sitting here to, just calm yourself down and not react on your feelings and just kind of like process it. And then you could think rationally about it, be responsive about what's going on. That has saved my life. I promise you. Like that is such an important skill that I think that we all need. Women and men, like we're all emotional. We all have emotions. So, oh, this is a big one. We all know we love the tea. We all be into tea. So this is a big one. Hold up. Don't participate in gossip. There's nothing beneficial about getting involved in gossip. It might be fun to listen to when it's not about you, but when the gossip is, that's so facts. That's facts. That's facts. When it is about you or your name gets mentioned in the last he said, she said chronicles, it can be hurtful, embarrassing, and damaging. That's big facts, man. That's big facts.
I'm
Have
so
you noticed
used to it now. It's like it doesn't have the effect
so
on me. Like
bad?
but it used to
It's
affect me like a year ago. I used to be like affected, but it's been like a constant like everything. It sounds funny because I don't know. Sometimes there's so many things. It's like what's even real now? What point? Because everything has been said in its opposite. But to the point where it doesn't affect me anymore. I guess I don't know. I've been called everything, so it's like
big one.
it's
Yeah,
not
this
even
is a
now.
big one. You get addicted to like gossip and tea. People have whole channels talking about tea. So I think
Well,
that it's
you gotta be
toxic.
careful. I do believe you should be some kind of entertainment level, right? Like you said, there is a balance. Like we do. I mean, we
I
want a
do
community that
enjoy
people are
it.
gonna
Like
have
I do
a sense of
enjoy it.
purpose in.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, the little tea and what's the latest tea? I do like
Because
it. I'm
but not all of
real.
us are going to be as intellectually focused. They're just not on average, and
I
so
think
you
there's
still
a
have to
balance. There
get that
has to be a
support.
balance, right? It's like junk food versus substance, right? It's like you can't live off of junk food. You can't live off of just gossip and tea and drama, or you're gonna die. Your body's not gonna get what it needs to sustain itself, right? But you can't have it every once in a while because it's like, it's I agree with that. There has to be like some type of balance. Like I like that, because we can't have it all the time, like I said, or you're gonna get sick. And that's what I feel like was happening in these communities. We got sick because it's like this is all we're getting, this is all we're being fed, junk food. And
More so like mental junk food.
it's mental junk food.
And like the candy, the Doritos, that's the physical junk food, but you can die from either mental or physical disorder.
Yes, it's like
Mhm.
you get sick.
People
If you
forget that the mind is just as
your
important as the body. And in fact, though, the
mind,
health of your body is also going to determine the health of your brain too, which is why it's important that you get the right
your mind,
nourishment and you're not like stressed out 24/7 because look at what it's going to do to your mental state.
I'm a big believer. Have you heard of like the hermetic principles? Like the first principle is all is mental. Like everything. Like if you think sick, you're gonna be sick. Like if you sit here and
Mhm.
negativity, like affects your physical body. Like it's serious. Like your mind is so powerful, and how we utilize our mind is like it will make or break us basically. If you're sitting here thinking like I ain't shit, especially have negative self thoughts about yourself, if you internalize like I addressed all this stuff, like how we internalize like anti-mixed hatred and stuff, like how that could be detrimental to us. So it's like we got to really be careful about especially other people's narratives about us, we can internalize that and be like, oh, maybe I am this and this and this, and it could it's discourage you and make you doubt yourself and make you lose your confidence in yourself. So it's like we have to super be careful about what are we accepting, like in our mind. Like we got to be careful about what are we entertaining, right? So it's like, but when it comes to the gossip and stuff, I think it's toxic because we talk about this, how people use gossip to bond. This is kind of a female thing. It's kind of like a woman. I see this more with women. I don't know if men do this. I'm not sure. Let me know. But women will be like, oh, this, they'll bond over like hating this other bitch, right? Like, or hating this other person. It's like, oh, you hate her too, I hate her, and we'll sit here and talk shit and gossip about her. It's called triangulation, right? When you bond over hating somebody or something. I feel like that happens a lot in these spaces. Like people will hook up and like be a team against this other person, and then once that other person, but they have nothing else in common versus just hating this other person, and it doesn't last. So what do you think about that?
It could also be that they're being attacked by the same person.
No, but I'm saying people.
If people, it could be that one person is attacking both those people. Those people before didn't have a common interest, but because they're being attacked together, they might bond over that.
Like the enemy of the enemy or whatever.
Well, yeah, just the fact
that it never lasts though. It never lasts when people only like have in common that they don't like somebody else. Like that little whatever. It never lasts. It never.
From experience, that's only going to be short-lived because eventually those two people are going to turn on each other. Because I will admit that I am guilty of doing that in my 20s, and people have done it to me, only for all of us to end up turning on each other, because that's just not going to be a dynamic that's going to get honored.
We've all done this. All of this stuff, we've all done it. We all human beings. Like we've all done it. Stuff. Nobody perfect around here, but as long as we learning from our mistakes and trying to grow and do better, that's what I want to encourage in people. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about trying to grow and do better as a human being, as a collective, like us doing better, right? That's what I really want to, and learning from our mistakes and not repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again, and not being stagnant and stuck. So it's say this is something I want to talk about too. Have you noticed, even when you listen to gossip, somehow your name gets wrapped up in the drama? Perhaps the person's care. This is something I want to talk about. I've noticed this happens a lot in these spaces when we do try to bond and try to create allyships and stuff like this, and you're trying to like open up and be vulnerable and trying to talk to people about things. It's like, okay, you'll fall out with that person and they'll take like your information that you've like opened up about, and they'll take that to go smear your whole name. Like, oh, this person did this and this and this.
Yeah,
I hate that. That is so horrible. That's why it makes it so hard for us to gain trust in each other, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna fall out with you, because everybody fall out left and right and then come right back together and be friends next second.
Yes, that's what you call blackmail,
right? And it's like
a lot of blackmailing. Yes,
we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the blackmail stuff, because it's like so many people are scared to like disassociate with somebody because they're like, oh, they have my information, so they're gonna put out my information. Like this whole it's scary, it's crazy. It's like there's no real trust in these spaces, because it's like, oh, if I, what I'm saying? If we fall out, you're gonna put all my information that I was vulnerable and shared with you. So it's like that's just giving into stereotypes that like mulatto people, we can't be trusted. Like that's a negative stereotype we have, that we're not trustworthy people. And I just want us to combat that stereotype that we are trustworthy. Like we can be trusted. Like even if I fall out with you or you, I'm not gonna sit here and spill your business and go online and go fire up a live and say, hey, this person told me this and this and this and this and this. Like
same here. I'm just gonna unsub from your channel though, and make sure I no longer even look at your recommended post.
This is YouTube at the end of the day. Like all we are is content creators. Like there's a million content creators out there. You can unsub, keep it moving, and not even try to mess up. I hate that whole like, oh, since I don't like you, I'm just gonna try to sabotage and destroy you. Like I've never done that. I don't like that. Like I don't think that's healthy. That's not a good thing. We're gonna talk about. Let me try to. This is a long. I'm sorry.
I've been complaining about the trust factor in this place for a long time. One of the biggest.
I agree with you. Remember, I did a live about that.
Trustworthiness.
Remember, I did a live a long time ago, and it just ended up being just. I hated that. Like after that live, like when you and this other person were yelling and screaming at each other, I felt so horrible. I was like, oh my god, like it just. I don't like that stuff. I don't. It doesn't amuse me. It doesn't entertain me. It's like it's draining. It's like it's not fun to me. I don't know how people think that's. Yeah, I got more views, right? It was like a lot of views on that. It was, but it wasn't. It's not worth it to me. I'm getting feedback. Oh, this is a big one. My little MacBook.
Oh, sorry for that.
My bad. Okay, there we go. So let go and forgive. I'm such a big believer in forgiveness. I feel like that's helped me so much. I think when you store anger and hatred and unforgiveness in your body, it really messes up. It could manifest into physical ailment. I do truly believe that. I think that your emotions affect your physical body. So it says let go and forgive. It says do you relive events that happened in your past? Are you constantly thinking about people who hurt you, old fights, the past, drama? Do you make assumptions on a person's present, future? The fixation on the past holds you captive and unable to grow and move on. Forgiving, letting go, and moving on is less about the person you have offended and more about putting down the heavy burdens. I agree. Assessing over how people have hurt you saps you of your energy and steals your joy. Period. That's facts. When you choose to let go and forgive, you take back control over your emotions. Yes. What's that saying? He who angers you controls you. I heard that so much. Like that's a now.
The expression goes that a man or he is quick to anger is a fool.
Yep. And he who angers you controls. That's another one. No, so it says now you can't stop being angry, bracing up to the hurt, bracing up to be hurt, or contemplating about getting back at people. This is a big one. Look, process your emotions. This is a big skill that we all of us. I think 90% of people don't have this skill because it's not taught to us as kids. You know, it's like you gotta, especially men. Men are taught to like, bottle it up, suck it up. Don't talk about it. Don't cry. Like, I think this is a big one. And I think for women too. I think women, we're taught to like just be reactive and just like I don't think none of us are really taught to like really properly deal with our emotions properly. And then I don't think we are. It's like drama is usually a mask for this is facts. You're trying to hide from your deeper emotion, just like any other addiction. Like alcoholism is so rampant because people can't process their emotions, right? So, drug addiction is so rampant because people can't process their emotions. They want to escape their emotions. So, which we fail to uncover and process. Yep, drama is usually a mask for deeper emotions, which we fail to uncover. It is easily to fly off the handle at any perceived slight than to examine the emotions we are feeling. Why? Yep. For example, suppose someone made an insensitive comment that hurt your feelings. Instead of examining your feelings to figure out why the person's comment had such an impact, you get confrontational and trade insults. Yep. Yep. When such incidents happen in the future, take the time out to process your emotions. You may find out the initial reaction is just a mask for something deeper. This is so true. Like when people get triggered at like things, any little thing, there's usually something deeper there that they haven't really dealt with and processed properly. Like that's facts. Maybe your anger might actually be covering your fear of abandonment. Try writing out your thoughts down in a journal to help the process what happened, how you feel about and put things in perspective. Journaling is an excellent tool to help you and take the drama back, tune into your emotions, challenge your negative thoughts, and focus on the positive. Yep. Reflect on how you handle. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one too. How do you handle? Oh, that's my daughter.
Yeah, I've been hearing the snoring too. Yeah.
Oh, that's my daughter. She's sleep on me.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Sorry, that's my little 3-year-old sleep. Let me go put her down real fast. Hold on a second.
Does anybody know the purpose of anger? Its function? Why do we have anger at all? Why is that even an emotion?
It's an emotion that responds to a perceived threat, but a lot of people don't really process it.
Injustice.
All right, she don't want to. Y'all just have to
Right?
deal
Without anger, we can't seek justice, right? We don't seek justice.
Okay.
Right? So
I need to read y'all comment. Sorry, I'm reading
to maintain justice, we require some level of anger, because if you don't get angry, you don't have that motivation.
Yeah, I think there is a righteous level of justice. I do think so. I think it's like
anger. Yeah.
I think that's like anything. Anything can be positive or negative, right? Like anger can be positive or it can be. It's like anything in the world, right? So definitely
boils down to whether
your intentions.
Yeah, it boils down to being able to discern between whether it's
if your anger
appropriate to have anger or not.
Facts. That's a good point. So reflect how you handled the situation. Okay, did you handle the situation of drama well? Are you proud? So I don't be proud of myself. Sometimes I be like, damn, you know what? I think about this a lot. You know, instead of bearing any feelings or shame concerning the whole, why not reflect on it? Ask yourself, do you regret anything you did or said? Is there anything you wish you could change? Did you lash out on anyone who's trying to confront you or help you? Did you feel you might have hurt someone's feelings and need to? Do people care? I think this is the problem with the internet. Too. People don't care about hurting each other. Like it's like they don't really see other people as like human beings that actually got lives. Like you know what I'm saying? Like on the internet,
Definitely.
they don't care about. They
Oh
don't
yeah.
care.
By the way, I'm Magic, so
Yeah.
like my 1 hour is up, so I'm definitely
No,
gonna have to get back to some work.
oh my god, no! There's so much more. Okay, let me let you go. Have a good night. Thank you for being up here.
Yeah, likewise.
Do you have any because I wanted to talk about like, you know, being, let me see, what did I say? Being where is it? Hold on a second. Let's see. The point of spiritual
User
practices,
disconnected from your
basically.
channel.
You know, I wanted to oh, he's gone. Dang. Okay, never mind. Let me finish this. It says if you answer yes to any of those questions, find out the lessons you could learn. We could be triggered. Speak to a therapist. That's important. It's difficult to help ourselves overcome trauma when we're too close to the problem to look objectively to find a solution. A licensed therapist or a objective third party will help listen. Yep, you know, I posted a therapist on my community tab that, you know, she's great. You know, I'm gonna use her service for sure. A biracial therapist, you know. Speak a therapist who could help you unpack the trauma. You might not think your problems are big enough to warrant professional therapy, but please don't do it to yourself. That deserve nothing is insignificant. Is affecting your mental well-being. Too many people try to muddle through, do their best to overcome issues. They never really get the grips of it is possible. Don't feed in other people's drama. Are you easily this is my issue. This is what I don't like. I hate being dragged. This is what I regret. I always hate this. Look. Are you easily dragged into other people's drama? Do you regularly get called requiring to sweep into action like a superhero to save a friend? Have you noticed that you spend a significant amount of time and energy resolving somebody else's problems? Captain Save a Ho, right? While you want to be a friend or relative, you cannot continue to be engaged in their chaotic lifestyle. It is not good for your reputation, your mental health. Stop feeding into other people's drama. Every time you sweep to provide a solution, you enable their negative behavior and teach them that it is appropriate. Facts. After all, if some reason you cannot help them in their jam, would they not find a solution for their own problem? Empower them to solve their own problem. Yep. And do not depend on you to do it. It will benefit them in the long run. Consider relationships that are only bring drama. Some relationships are just filled with drama. You already know when you see their phone call, it's a life or death situation. It's time for you to reconsider continuing that relationship at the very least. Your involvement. Ask yourself without drama, when exactly do you have in common exactly what I was saying earlier? What benefit are you getting to the relationship? If your interests lie mainly in the never-ending cycle of drama, get off the crazy train and use your energy to develop healthy relationships. That's what I'm here for. This is the whole point of this community. Like so many people I talk to, we just want to build some type of connections and relationships with each other. Like that's all I really want. Like have some good like conversations and hang out. Like that's all I really want out of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to like fight and argue. I don't know. I just want to have healthy relationships. Like I enjoy that. But some people think it's boring. Like some people are so like addicted to trauma. It's like you think peace is boring. So that's the problem. I think that's the issue. But if your interests lie mainly in the never-ending cycle of drama, get off the crazy train, use your energy. Like I said, if you're unable to completely cut the person from your life, try low contact with them instead. This is something we need to practice because our space is so small. Like if we can't just cut off each other completely. This is facts. We can't because our space is very limited. So low contact, I think that's a good way to go about things. This is where you severely limit your interactions, perhaps only engaging with them through weekly phone calls. You get space. Wow, this is something we need to practice, like low contact to avoid stuff. You could also avoid drama triggers. For example, if your discussions about romantic spark an argument. This is something I want to like. I don't want to mention nobody's name because it's like a trigger. It's like, oh, they're. I don't want to do all that. Be clear and straight with people. When you're clear and straight with people, they tend to be in a similar manner. You're probably the fastest way to extract yourself from rumor mills. This is what I try to do. I try to just be honest and transparent about myself. This is what I try to do. I be honest about how I'm feeling, what I disagree with. Like this is what I try to do. Gossips are less likely to bring stories that you're going to address the person. Don't speculate whether good or bad. Simply deal with the facts in front of you and the facts of the matter, or at least address the matter. Lies and rumors can only thrive when hidden away in secrecy. I agree with that. Like, bring the light to it. Like, bring what's done in the dark always comes to light. I think so. So that's how you always gotta live your life. Like, what you gotta always live your life. Like, this is how I live my life. If I wouldn't want somebody like exposing me, like what I do in the dark, I don't want to be ashamed of, because it's like, okay, this is who I am. Like, I wouldn't want to do something that if was brought to light, I'd be ashamed of it. So it's like you gotta always like know that what you're doing in the dark always come to light. Always, 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 always. No matter if the matter concerns you, address it in a way that brings about a resolution and not a confrontational. Find a hobby. This is what I've been focusing on, man. Just finding a fun hobby. Like, there's so much fun things you could do. Like, by creating drama, you're probably because you're bored. Exactly. If you have nothing that's fully engaging your mind or tapping into a passion, find a hobby. Do something you enjoy. Gives you a positive outcome. If you spend hours working on an art project, you're pouring your energy into something positive. Exactly. It's just about how we use our energy, You're feeding your desire for artistic pursuits. You get finished pieces of already there's far more. You're participating in any drama, or considering exercising. Join a gym if you're worn out. You won't have the energy to start or engage in trouble. Keep your business keep your business to yourself. I agree. Stop telling everybody your issues in life. Facts. I totally agree with it. There's some things like you don't want to tell people online, especially you're instilling your business and everybody's knowing that. The first few times I've overshared so many times, like so many times. You may garner some sympathy, but after a while, you become the butt of people's jokes. Yep, that's exactly what happened to me. Exactly. You end up seeming like a basket case who is unstable to handle life. Neither outcome is beneficial for you. If you truly need an avenue to vent your frustration, start a journal, see a therapist. Neither will judge you. A therapist may offer a solution while the journal will not. However, journal will help you reflect, identify recurring issues, just vent. Many of the people use YouTube as a journal, as like to vent. You think so, Hybrid? I think that happens
Some
a
people
lot.
vlog to do that. Yeah, that's called
Yeah,
vlogging.
people, I think that's a good way. Like, you could use like YouTube as like a vlog, like to tell like how you're doing today. But people use YouTube as like who said that? Somebody else said that, like, people use YouTube as like a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Some people do that as like an outlet, but I don't know. It might be good or bad. I don't know. Keeping your business to yourself ensures you don't feel the gossip mill. You don't have to worry about who's talking about you. And change your reward. This is something I want to talk about. Change your reward. Every behavior has a reward. Engage dramatic has a positive one, like attention and views and clicks, right? Otherwise, you would have stopped engaging in behavior long ago. Because let's be real. Let's talk about that for a second. The drama does, like, I want to talk about marketing strategies. Like, the drama, you get rewarded by it. You get more views, clicks. So there is like a reward system there. So I don't know. So think back at the recent situation you're involved in. Ask to how did it make you feel? What did I enjoy about the incident? What did I gain from being involved? If you're starting journaling, probably be truthful about your response. Identify the why. You feel like you're getting attention from lacking. It might have been cute to be a drama queen as a teenager, but it certainly gets old fast as you get older. Not only it gets tiring to jump from chaos to chaos, but it's also tiresome for people looking from the outside. Big facts. If you've described yourself as a drama queen, that you might have noticed people distancing themselves from you. Suddenly, they don't pick up your calls or stop responding. Be honest with yourself. That's what it all boils down to, being honest with yourself. And drill down a core reason you're addicted to drama. Okay. Yeah. Let me stop sharing my screen. So yeah, I think that was a really good article. I ain't gonna lie. Let me talk to y'all. Hold on. Hey.
Yeah.
I have not been reading comments. My bad, guys.
I practice mindfulness pretty heavily already, though. So it's like a lot of the points there are things that I already practice.
That's good. I want to focus more on my hobbies and stuff. I think that's good. Again, I like cooking, like baking and stuff like that. Hold on. What did you do a poll? Somebody did. What did you do a poll with? Hold on. What, what was the poll? Hold on. I didn't see that. What was,
Goldensphere 3.0.
wait, what was the poll? Wait, what was it? What was the poll? Not a Golden Sphere 3.0. That's no, we're not doing a Golden Sphere 3.0. Oh my god. I lost subscribers when I entered drama, but higher views. But when I do productive, my subscribers come back, but the views are low. Oh, I know, right, Diana? I swear. Okay, that's something I wanted to talk about. Like, it's about I hate it. That's what I'm talking about. The drama gets rewarded. You get more views, you get more clicks. So it's like, so people do it for a reason, but it's like, is it worth it at the end of the day? If you're doing something that you're happy and you feel good about, like when you put something out there into the world, that's something I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about legacy, right? So exercise. I love playing the guitar. That is so cool. See, I love instruments and stuff like that. I think that is so cool. Let's leave the Golden Sphere 2022 for real. Facts. I agree with that. Like, yeah, that was that was ran into the ground. Honestly, guys, I think it was a great idea, but I think it had wrong leadership and it got ran into the ground. So let's leave that in 2020. I'm sorry, y'all, but I tried.
Some
I had
people's
hope for
skill
it too.
sets are limited to drama. They just don't have any other things like, you know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
anything they can do good
Exactly.
as somebody else. That's all they have is the drama. They have to go to
And it's
that
a
expense.
dopamine fix. That's something. But one of my things I want to talk about is legacy and priorities, right? Because it's like I said, the internet is forever, right? So let's think about 20, 20 years from 20, 30, 40. I have kids. So what if I have great grandkids, great grandkids, great grand? We're like the first generation where everything is being recorded. Like our great grand, we don't know what the hell they were doing. There's nothing to record. There's nothing there. But our generation, it's like everything's being recorded. So it's like our great grandkids can see what we're doing like 100, 200 years in the future, right? Or something like that. I want them to see that I was trying to be productive and actually I want to leave a better legacy for my people. You know what I'm saying? I know that they're going to be able to look back and be like, hey, she was trying to do something for us. You know what I'm saying? Like I love what Caesar said when he talked about having short-term thinking, when he, hold on a second. Sleep. But I love what Caesar said about short-term thinking. Like I do think we have to think like 100, 200, 300 years in the future and like think like the internet is forever. What do you want people in your great grandkids looking back? What are you doing with your content and your platform and stuff? Like you want to see them, you're fighting, cussing and acting a fool and acting crazy. I don't want them to see that. I want them to actually see that I just love discussions and empowering people. So that's something I want to, your digital footprint. We're all leaving a digital footprint. Exactly. I'm staying true to myself. I don't want the negative drama BS in my life. It's too much crap we have to deal with. That's something I want to talk about. Exactly. Life is hard enough. Like real life is real. Like things get too real. Like life is hard, especially, I'm a parent. I have 3 kids. Like it's hard parenting. Okay. Yeah, she's sleeping. But life is so hard. Life is too short, peaceful and productive. Exactly. And I enjoy that. I think that if you detox yourself from like the negative habits and the negative energy, you could enjoy. It could be fun to be peaceful and productive. Like it's something you enjoy, but you have to like detox yourself. You have to really like do like a mental energy, spiritual detox from like being addicted to it and being like so like, but it takes a lot of self-work and self-reflection to get there. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm all about. All about us like, doing the inner work, like sharing things that I want to talk about. This is something that's helped me a lot. Something like transmutation and alchemy. That's something that I'm really like into. It's about always like transforming something negative into something positive. You could always transform any negative situation, any negative thing, any negative occurrence, any negative thought into something positive anytime. That will benefit you. Anything. That's why I don't really believe in like playing the victim or anything, because it's like anything bad that happened to me in my life, I could transform that into
What
something.
about death?
Well, death, you can't come back from death, okay? Or somebody
So
dies
yeah, so
in their
it's not
life,
everything.
you could find a way to be at peace with death because we all die. We all die. We're all gonna be dead one day. So then you could be at peace with that. Like I'm at peace with death. You know what I'm saying? So
But not after the fact. I'm saying, let's say you just got let's say you just got killed. I'm saying, I
that's
was just
what
saying that the
I'm talking
principle
about
you were
life,
making wasn't
man.
universal. That's all.
I'm talking about things that happen to you in life. I ain't talking about you dying. You can't come back from that. Once you're dead, you dead. So, but I was talking about anything that happens to you in life. You could
That you
transform into
or do
something
you,
positive. I believe that. I do believe that. She bragged about beating up a crackhead. Okay, let me read some of y'all comments. Hold on, because I was reading that other thing.
but the beating up a crackhead part? Who said that? She did brag about it though.
Hold on, let me see what they talking about. Okay, what y'all talking about? Yeah, I was talking about how Gigi goes into other people's platforms, causing chaos. Let's see, who came in like a wrecking ball. Sorry. Extra. I agree. Oh no, my mom has said only golden women I am super loyal to. That's so sad. I'm sorry about that, Diana. If it's not drama, it's considered boring. Those who.
That has to do with attention span. But remember, this is not a random group of people. A lot of these people are people who don't have something going on. They need a community. There might be reasons to why.
We are in a attention span generation. Like our attention span. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I think okay, because it's kind of long now. So let's see.
I mean, look at C4 Conversations, right? His channel is strictly productive, strictly the thinking part. There's not much entertainment. Not that there should be, but you can see that on those channels, which are the most serious. They don't get that many views. That's something where like Gigi just acts silly and attacks somebody or gets ratchet, and then they'll get views.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a good example where you can see, he's clearly always it's always professional and always productive, but. It's the bulk of the people are actually going to be the people who are just getting entertained in some way. Let's be honest.
I asked him too. I was like, "Hey, when are you coming back?" Because it's been like a month, and I was like, "Hey, I hope you're doing good." Because I really do enjoy his live a lot. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't need all. I just like having something like. I like learning new things. I like when people are presenting new information. That's why it's cool. There's so many like educated people in these spaces that I like to learn. I love.
Just that. If you've been to school where you're used to listening to lectures, or you're used to just whereas somebody who's not, or they. I'm
not used to it.
They don't have that. They're not used to sitting down just listening to dry lectures for 2 hours. I can do that.
Right. So I didn't go to college, so I just like learning from. I like learning from people's perspectives and I like it a lot. I like learning because they don't teach our history and stuff like that in colleges, like mixed race and biracial history. They don't teach stuff like that. So we got to do the work to like find it, and I talk about that all the time. So I went to Outlight, it wasn't even bad. So the grandma was big man. Oh yeah, I wanted Al to come up and I wanted to hear his perspective. I was gonna do a StreamYard stream, but last time I did a StreamYard stream, they didn't even show up. So I'm like, Al, if you could join the Discord. So, because I wanted to hear your perspective about how to stay out of drama and stuff like that. Because, what'd you say, Al? You said, what'd you say? You said something. If I just go elsewhere, if a YouTube space or panel doesn't dovetail with me, I don't know what that means, but that's what I do. I walk away. Exactly. You gotta learn how to walk away. I agree with that so much. All right, guys. I think I said a mouthful. I think I said a lot. Like I had a bunch of other things I wanted to talk about. Let me see. Oh. About toxic competition real fast. I wanted to get your viewpoint on this because I feel like I didn't come into YouTube to like be competitive with people. I came in here for like a sense of community. So the whole like this team versus this, that caught me off guard because I'm like, yo, I thought we were all in this together. I thought we were all like, biracial mixed. That's what I thought when I first came into these spaces, right? And so it just caught me off guard. So it's like, but a lot of people accuse me of trying to be like overly competitive and but it's like I'm really not. I wanted us to all work together. Like I've tried to work with everybody in these spaces. Like you know what I'm saying. I've always
a lot of times when they say that it's reverse psychology. They're doing it and they're trying to they're projecting. A lot of times.
Hey, welcome. But I wanted to talk about that. Like, I think it's okay to have like a healthy sense of competition when you're just focusing on you and trying to do better, and you're inspired by somebody, you see them, they're doing good. I think that's healthy. But when somebody's like, you sound smart already. Some people in college and discipline, like, oh, but I'm saying like, oh, that caught me off guard. I don't know what I was saying. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I do think that healthy competition is good. When you're being inspired by somebody, and I think that's a positive, wonderful, amazing thing to do better. But I think when people like overly focus and compare themselves to other people, I think that's toxic. And I think that when people sit here and try to sabotage other people and try to like, feel like they got to attack them because they, that they don't want them to like take their spot or like take their cloud or take their shine away from them, I think that's toxic. So I think there is like a healthy form to go about, because we all want to succeed on YouTube, right? We all want to do good. We all want to, do these numbers or whatever, right? But I do think that, there's always a good way to go about things or a bad way. So that's what I got to say about that. One of my goals is to avoid drama as much as possible. Facts. I agree.
I'd say better and worse. There's better and worse ways to sometimes you have to choose between the best of two evils. You don't have a choice, right?
Crispin, why you acting like you ain't my homie? Why you retract your message? Say what you said, Crispin. That's my friend, We be talking in the Discords, but okay. Okay, but do you have anything to add to that about like the healthy competition point?
Me? Well, I mean, I would say healthy competition is when you're just trying to do your best. Like, I mean, I don't know, there's a lot of that between men. You might not notice it's almost like an unsaid code, right? There's certain rules. You might, not all people, of course, abide by them, but there's certain things you do. Like, there's an understanding that men, you are some way in a competition for women indirectly, but you're not necessarily against each other. You just, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who they choose is who
like
they
women's
choose. You don't force it,
attention,
but there's what?
I think, do you guys feel like there's like a competition for like women's attention, kind of like a thing like that, like women?
Well, I think that's, whatever is limited resources, any limited resource become competitive over any limited resource, right? Anything that's a limited resource, they don't have infinite amount of, and they need it. There's going to be the only way you're going to get it compared to others is you have to. You're forced unintentionally.
Oh, Crispin, you're welcome to come up anytime. Like, yeah, the last time you did, we had that debate. It was so fire. That was such a good stream. I love that. Like, I love like healthy debates. Like, who want to debate? Like, I like debating, because I think that we need that, because all of us have like different ideologies about how we should
I'm
go
up
about
down with
things.
that. I think it has to do with the people.
I love
Certain
it.
people I don't think are equipped. I think people have got, like I said, I think certain people have gotten your views and everything through being a certain way, and they don't really, they won't be able to adapt. I can debate. I came into the internet doing debates when I started off. I was doing like atheist debates, and then I started doing some like feminist
We could do
debates.
Me and you, let's do a debate. I don't know what we disagree on.
And I'm used to being able to disagree and not making it as personal. And I've
Exactly.
you're
like
not going to
that
catch
too.
me roasting anybody. You're not going to catch me being the first one to throw out kind of like just polemic arguments. I don't even like to do that. I'm kind of forced here to do that. That's what's valued.
That's such a weird behavior to me. It's like, I've seen this behavior of like, you start a whole war with people because they disagree with you on something. And it's like, hey, to me, it's not that personal,
Roasting
it's
culture,
not that personal. Because y'all seen the receipts people have posted on me. That was me trying to respectfully disagree with somebody, and they took it so personal, and they're like, oh, that's how it started a whole war. I'm just like, we don't have to do all that.
Control
like,
that's different. They're seeing you as you're supposed to be under their their code.
I just don't think that's you don't have to take disagreements personally. We can have a healthy debate about things. It's invigorating. I watch debates. I think it's just as invigorating. I think it's just as entertaining as like, I like intellectual debates versus somebody screaming and saying, oh, you're a bitch, you're a whore, you're a slut, you're a cunt, you're this and that. I like actually people trying to, I prefer that more. So that's just me. We need to ignore people. Exactly. I'm addressing this one time, and then we're moving forward. It's 2023. We need some more people. We need to stop rewarding this type of behavior. I absolutely agree. We do. It's up to us. Like, this is our space. We need to protect it. We need to make sure like the right people are getting, people who are actually about like trying to help us form a community and empower us, like they're getting the attention that, and the people who are not, they're not, like, because that's up to us though, that's really up to us. We need to more people like that, women like that. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. I agree. Okay. What was my last point? Like us working together. Oh, I wanted to bring up a cult like mentality. I feel like, look, I had a whole article on this. I think we're susceptible to this as mixed race people because we don't really have like a sense of community. So it's easy for us to like. Let me talk about this real fast, and then I'm gonna close this out. Hold on. 10 things you need to know about the psychology of cults. I think this is important. Okay. Cults are
Well, you
attractive.
gotta be careful because a cult is not necessarily a negative. We tend to use it as negative, but a cult is really just any religion that's not the main religion. So like if it's not Christianity or if it's not any of the more popular religions, it's pretty much a cult, right?
True.
I mean, because religions
I
are
was
cults
saying-
to some extent, right? They are
True.
cults.
You know, that's
But
good.
we don't call them
Anything
cults
could be
if they're
negative or
popular.
positive, right? But I do think like my definition of a cult is like if you like disagree with somebody, you get like kicked out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't disagree, you can't have your own opinion, you can't really speak your mind freely. It's always like you got to conform
Within
to,
a
like,
range. Like I
I
mean,
think that's like
if you're let's say I don't know, you're on an anti-racist panel, or you're a part of an anti, and then you don't. Well, I mean, you're not agreeing fundamentally what the purpose of the group is. So that's a bit different. You gotta be careful.
that's a big difference. I'm talking about like a
Whereas-
community. Like I'm talking about people who like are trying to form like biracial communities and they're trying to be like the leader of it, but it's like you can't like disagree with them. Or I feel like that's like a cult. I feel like that's like a cult mentality. I'm just saying. I think us as like biracial people, we could be susceptible to these types of things because it's like we earn for a sense of community so bad. So we got to be very careful about what type of community we are creating. Are we creating like a very toxic cult like environment? You know. So that's all I'm
Depends
saying.
on how important how fundamental that value is to the group. Like I mean, if you're Christian, you go, okay, I'm going to be a Christian, but I don't believe in Christ. Well, you're not Christian, you're kicked out, right? You're kicked out.
Right.
They're not going to let you in. There are fundamental assertions about the whole entire ideology that you need to at least agree with that part, or else you technically are out of the
Yeah.
group, right? If you don't believe in Christ, you're not going to take it seriously as a Christian.
I'm talking about, look, I'm talking here in these biracial mulatto communities. I just want to make sure that we're not okay. Look, the cult, that is fine. This is something I wanted to look, those with low self-esteem. This is why we gotta make sure. That's why it's so important for us to like build each other up. Like people with low self-esteem are more likely to be persuaded into a cult environment, right? So people who are surprised, you know, this article, because I don't feel like reading all this. I'm kind of tired from that last article, but basically saying 70% of cult leaders are women because look, they get love bombed. You know, they're like, oh, you're so amazing, you're beautiful, you're da 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 da. You're love bombed as a recruit, right? Look, women are more likely to join a cult, right? But I see, honestly,
cult
I see
leaders
these type
or
of,
join a cult. Like
no, to join a cult. 70%
women are more agreeable
members
all around. So
are
it's like
women. So what was
Because
these
they're- yeah.
spaces very dominated by women for a long time. So I'm just saying, I feel like there was some cult-like behaviors, like online cult-like behaviors in these, and it's weird.
I get what you're saying, but
You
if
get what
gonna
I'm
be really
saying?
honest, it's a little bit of reach. I think it's a reach. I know what you're saying, but I just think if we applied
reach.
that rule, then all of us
I
are
just-
called
okay.
everyone.
It's a reach. Okay. I just, okay, let me turn this off because I'm tired. But
Maybe you want to say it could be too controlled. There's environments. Can be too
oh, this is
controlling.
something I want to say. Cults maintain their power about promoting the us versus. This is something that I didn't like in these spaces. It's always a us versus them mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's something people promote. I said something about that on my community tab post, and I was like, yo, this is how some people preserve their power, always creating an enemy for them to fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that some people use to create their power, right?
I get what you're
So-
saying, but I think something like this, right? You need an excuse to gather around. You need somewhat of a storyline, right? Like what's bringing us here? Some common thing that we're fighting against. There is some common enemy, not necessarily
There's
people.
common,
but
yeah, but
they're-
exactly. I do
can
think
bring
there's
us together.
bigger
I don't know.
things that could bring us together. Like we need, what do we need? Like I want to support like biracial businesses or like have us be more economically empowered or things that things that we could actually like gather around and actually work towards versus, oh, I just hate this person because whatever reason versus like an individual. I think there's things like bigger goals that we could like gather around and actually like focus on together, right? So I think that's my goal. I just want us to be economic because I don't feel like without money we're not gonna get no land. We're not gonna get anything without money. So
Think
I
of it
think
like this. I feel like a lot historically was like you're trying to build something serious, and then beside you have this big, kind of much bigger channel,
Mhm.
which just does ratchet things but it gets more views, and then they shit on you from there, preventing you from even getting something, right? And you're forced. That's kind of how I feel it was here more, and so it's like you can't even, because the other one who's just doing the ghetto stuff is able to also thrash you or your channels and besmirch you, so you don't even get to grow, right? And to keep their power, right? But that's what you're seeing here. It's an attempt to keep their power. They're getting threatened. There's other groups, people, so they're starting to get hostile. They're starting to go somewhere else to get other people.
Look, people who are cult members have no idea. So I think that there was some cult-like behavior around, like, being, they didn't know. People didn't know. Psychology of cult is brainwashed. People found like the cult willingly. There's political groups, lifestyle groups. I just think that, we got to be careful.
Cult behavior, do you mean bad behavior?
Yeah. I'll show you what really stuck out to me. Life can have lasting effects, emotional damage, right? But what was the one that stuck out to me? There was like a humiliation tactics or whatever that kept people like in line. Like if you disagree or something, I'm gonna humiliate you and publicly degrade you. Right here, public humiliation. This is something that I feel like a pattern that's happened in these spaces a lot. So it says new cult members maybe love bomb shortly after their arrival, but once they are established members, cult leaders often maintain emotional control through various exercises meant to publicly humiliate a member. Once method is involved, someone sitting in a chair surrounded by other members, which they are required admit they'll break down your self-esteem, basically. Like, you ain't shit, you ain't nothing, you ain't this. It's like a public humiliation ritual. And then it goes with like, if I share any information that I was vulnerable with you, I'm going to use that to publicly humiliate you, So it's like that's some cult-like behavior to me. I think it's weird and strange. So I just wanted to make y'all aware of that. Like, hey, if anybody, I
think it was bad behavior. It's just on people you can't trust. Number one, you can't have a community you don't have trust. You can't have anything. Any kind of relationship is trust is first. Any relationship without trust is a bad relationship, really.
I agree. And if there was one, let me see. Dangers of online cult. Look, loneliness is a pandemic. I found these spaces. Look. Let me fix it. Hold on. Can I change this one? Hold on.
So I would argue something like, and remember, because of where I am in psycho, I can criticize those articles where some people they're like facts for them and they can't, but I can actually break them because I have a little bit of knowledge. So I can criticize it itself.
That's good.
One of the problems I find with this is that it would make too many things cults. Even if you had like a feminist group or something, make every rad feminist group a cult, because there would be a certain bit of principles. You gotta believe them. If you don't believe them, you're gonna get ashamed. So it would make so many things cult that it's like any kind of group. It can make any group into a cult as long as you know what I mean. It's very broad, and it doesn't tell us whether it's good or bad. I think the whole point, of course, is to avoid bad things, and so
yes. Do you think there's a difference between an echo chamber and like a cult? Like, do you think there's a difference between? Because I just don't like spaces where we can
echo
have
chamber is a component of a
like
cult.
That.
Like, I mean, that I would say that's one of the components of a cult. The idea is just like that it's a closed off system of thought, and information from outside is not getting in. Basically, that's what I was like, right? And there's no way to disprove, because everything is within the what is at least logically inconsistent within the ideology. What's that other ideology? That big popular one with like.
Right. I just want to make sure that we have a healthy, space that we could like disagree with each other, and it's like, you must. And I gotta start a whole war with you. Like, I've seen that weird behavior in these spaces a lot, and I'm like, I don't like that.
I think that was more bully behavior. That's a bully behavior.
It was a bully behavior, right? I thought it was cult-like. I was like, but it is. You could say bully too. That is like a lot of.
Bully the other woman on code, right?
That's another topic. There's so much on this topic. I'm so tired. I'm about ready to, because it's almost been.
No, that's okay. Then we're well done. Over an hour, and we've a lot of information here.
Yeah, but that's a whole other cyberbullying and stuff. But I wanted to just say this real fast. Loneliness as a pandemic, the dangers of an online cult. Because I think this is true. Ever since like COVID-19, how we went online and like people starting these. Yeah, I do think, because I found these spaces during like COVID. Right. So what is
a lot of us did, to be honest. It might not have happened without the COVID, to be honest.
I think because of COVID, a lot of these online communities have been. Yeah, exactly. So it says, by definition, online cult is no different than a regular cult. Only difference is the platforms these online cult use, target audience, the reach they have. A cult is essentially an organization that can be defined as a form of religious. See, I don't think we have all.
See, that's what I've been telling you the whole time, and now you see, I told you, a cult is just a religion that's not popular.
It's a religion. Okay. basically what we've been. It's not a cult. It's just cyberbullying. What you're saying. I agree.
Yeah, yeah, and bullying, the bullying dynamics. They're social dynamics you might learn about. There's different styles of relationships you might want to learn about what's happening. I could see them already. I've been trying to explain them, the homonormative dynamics and the dynamics between the men and the women and how they interact, so because I can predict the outcome of what the culture is going to look like based off that.
Yep.
But
So
people don't
I'm
want
gonna
the
end
long,
that,
lengthy
yeah.
explanations, right? They want the fast stuff.
I'm gonna end the I'm gonna end the live. Hold on. I wanted to say one more thing about. So my ending and closing thought on this is basically like it was a good live. I really feel good about this live. I think it was. Thank you, Honey Rose. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
But
nice
I think that but okay, I think that we just have to learn how to recognize patterns, behavior, and making sure that people are in alignment with our values and making sure that, I think that's how we avoid drama. Making sure that we're surrounding ourselves with people who, value the same things we value, have the same mindset, are like-minded. And that's it. And just leaving people alone. Like, there's so many spaces. YouTube is a big space. Like, YouTube, the internet is a big place. Like, we could just leave people alone. We don't have to sit here and beef or with people. Of course, like, there's people who are gonna slander this side, and I just think we should just be above it. Honestly, like, I think we.
Listen to this. For example, Golden Goddess clearly ran into issues, right, when she went into those spaces, right, and one of the biggest issues was something from that somebody who basically attacks our space, not really a part of it. That person, right, she was affected by that person, right, pretty badly.
Yeah.
And she's affected by that person, even though that person that did those things a while ago. So even though those things were a while ago, well, they're still on the internet. And so because they were still on the internet, they still affected the person. Whether or not if they would have gotten over it and forgave them, those things are still there and they're still causing damage as long as they're up, right? And so it's very hard to be forgiving when they're doing something, when they're engaging or in a situation where it's actually
tricky,
still
right?
contributing to that person, the negativity towards the person. It's really hard for me to feel something, you know what I mean, to not want to say something.
It's tricky. But I think we should gotta learn
Yeah,
how to recognize.
it's just the fact that it's up there that's still affecting. So if the people have things up there and they've made these attacks, you called you a pedophile, and they're still up there, well, they're still affecting you. So until those are gone, I don't really think there could be peace. Like, I put away all the stuff, people who I was fighting with, it's all gone. You can kind of, you can move on, but with the other people, as long as they're there, you can't move on. That's the problem.
So there's a time for peace, a time for war, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there wouldn't be any. It's the first thing everybody thought was, why would we have war? No point, of course. Nobody wants that. It's more, some people do, but it's a last resort. It's not.
Yeah. Tough.
A lot of our values are going to be shared somewhat. They're going to have neurological similarities, right? Too. There's different personality types, and certain groups are going to group together. They're going to get, and there's certain two people they're just never. Like you say, you can't put me in future. It's never. It's not even like and it's our biology. We're just the way that we're wired. It's going to cause a clash. What a boss would do in a business, he would put those two people separate. Like, he'd make that person go work over there, and make them.
I feel like even if people have different personality types, I feel like there could be a way to avoid drama at the same time by just like I said, like that article, interactions with this person. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like even if you guys have personality clashes, that could clash, there's still ways to go about it without just starting. I'm just getting away from. I'm just trying to. I know it'll never. There's always going to be drama. But I just think we have to kind of just try to limit it as much as we can, and kind of just find different marketing strategies to market our channels. And I think that we could really flourish and do better. And just because the more people see it, there'll be more people trying to speak on their perspective. Because I was, like I said, I have a YouTube channel because somebody encouraged me. So I want to encourage anybody out there who wants to make a voice and have a channel. That I was encouraged to have a voice and have a channel. So I think that was a good thing. I'm grateful for that, and yeah. So I just want to see more of us speaking up, and I just want to see our community grow, and I just want to get rid of behavior patterns are stunting our growth, and just try to. That's it, that's it. So I just we got to try something different. If this ain't working, we got to find something else that works. Okay, that's all.
We have to recognize
So
that this is a place that would attract radical personality types. Just right. Remember, this is just an open field. Anybody can come in. It's like you can make a group. Anybody can come in. Anybody who. So so you're gonna get a lot of people who are gonna be predators. They're gonna have their bad intent. You're gonna get all kinds of people, and you don't know who these people are. It's gonna take a while to figure them out. And it's just
surprisingly, no other than Golden Goddess and Multiverse, they were the ones who were encouraging me to start a space. I thought it was sincere because I was like, oh yeah, I would like see just for them to turn around and like be when I disagree.
And I think they get along together, and I think that's but they in a sense also form their own culture, which is correlated to the gender of the people, right? The gender is different, and that culture changes according to that, and it's not necessarily going to be connected with our values, right? It's not going to.
Right.
But they get along together, and clearly it's not like they're conflicting, but that doesn't mean. But when you take them and go with other people, then they're going to conflict because they're with people who are the opposite,
Yeah, but from now on, I don't have no beef. Okay, I'm staying out of beef. I don't want to, even comment on what people are doing.
What happened?
User entered your channel.
How much we could be doing to like utilize our spaces appropriately. And am I still even?
They encourage you, or was it like a go make your own channel kind of thing?
No, it was like, I want to hear from other people's perspectives. That's what they said, and I was like, oh, cool. Maybe I'll make it. It took me a year because I was scared. I was like, oh, I don't want to, but But I just want to make sure we're utilizing the space appropriately. Like, there's so many cool like collaborations we could be doing. There's artists in these, there's therapists in these spaces. There's so many like people who create t-shirts. There's so many creative people, and there's people who are educated. Like you have a different education. There's so many different perspectives we could be learning from. Like, just utilizing a community to facilitate your growth more. So I think that is like what we should be using our community for. So I just want to make sure that we're not using our community to like just I'm a beef with you so I can get clout and attention. Like that's not helping our community. I just want to. There's so much we could be doing to like utilizing our community more versus like just starting a bunch of drama with each other. There's so much more we could be doing. That's all I wanted to really say. It inspired me not to drink. I'm dead. Oh my god. Yeah, but you got any last thoughts, Hybrid? I do think there has to be somebody that takes this seriously, okay? Because we really don't have too many advocates or people trying to really speak on our issues or really trying to focus on it. It's like we don't really care. It really says we don't really care about ourselves. We don't care about ourselves. And I want to show that, yes, there is people that care about us, that actually want to cater to us. There's people who are making clothing brands, like, the Mosaic label. I'm an ambassador for them. I promote her business so much because she chose to cater to the mixed race community and biracial people. Because I'm like, that's so rare that happens, and there's therapists that reach out. Elizabeth, like, support her because she wants to cater to us. She wants to address our specific needs. Like, this is something that I do want to take seriously because we do have the highest rates of suicide, like I said, and that's something that we need to work on and address and get down and make sure our quality of life is better, that our specific needs are being met as a people. Like our conversations that we're having that are centered around us, because there's so many things that white and black people, they can't talk about our specific needs. So it's like I do take this seriously. I think it's very important thing that we do need to maybe someone would pass me that 40 ounce. Oh my god. I'm gonna get drunk on this. Y'all are going in. Oh my god. Y'all are going in. Getting drunk and telling biracial people. Okay, yeah, okay, y'all are going in. Okay, guys. I do think we should, like I said, any last closing points, because I'm enjoying this live. I think I'm saying everything I'm getting everything I need to say, get off my chest, and it's a little long, but is there anything you need to how we can overcome the drama and how we can like really put it to rest? And I just want us to have a stable foundation, because ever since I've been in these spaces, it's like it keep getting burnt to the ground. Like you're trying to build it up a little bit, it gets burnt to the ground.
That's what I've been working on a lot, because I could do a lot more like educational content, but what I've been trying to do, you see my channels right now with the Mulatta Sphere, is just to create at least a stable, like a lot of people say, well, I don't have much subscribers, but I have a stable audience. It stays the same, and I can guarantee that it's going to be there, every it's just stable. It's not going anywhere. And now that I got nice stability, I can then try other things, like try risk and go different directions.
We need that sense of stability. Exactly. Those sisters weren't having herpes. Oh my god, y'all funny. Y'all funny. But yeah, just that sense of stability. And yeah, that's what I crave in my life. That's what I really want to create in my life, in my online presence. And we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna grow. I'm gonna speak some positivity, some life into us. We're gonna grow. We're gonna have some good marketing strategies. We're gonna keep building, keep growing, there's nowhere to go. I feel like we've been in the mud for a long time. I feel like we're growing, we're learning how to grow. There is nowhere to go but up, basically. Okay, there's nowhere to go but up from here. Okay, as long as we keep pushing, keep moving forward, there's nowhere to go but up, because we've been down in the dumps for a long time. So we're gonna get it together, y'all. Love y'all so much. I love y'all. I love y'all, guys. I love y'all. Okay, but it was fun. This was a fun live for me. I love talking.
Live. C4 Conversations is having a live right after this. I mean,
I'm about to go having You said who is having a conference? Who's going live after?
C4 Conversations.
Oh,
you might have changed it. You changed it.
Go ahead and go live.
It was actually the same time, and I asked him to put it the other day ahead, but I guess he changed it. Okay.
Oh, it's for tomorrow. Everybody, go subscribe to J4 Conversations. I love his lives. They're so amazing, intriguing, amazing. He's a great, he's trying to advocate for us. He's amazing. I love him. So everybody subscribe to him. And let me read y'all's. I think we need to realize this is low level attention. Oh my god. Need to ignore. Okay, ignore. 2023, y'all. I got you. All right, guys. Yeah, check out J4.
Thanks for having me on that good time.
Okay, y'all.
Time chopping it up.
It's been fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to more. This is what I enjoy. I love just having intellectual conversations and just interesting. I do want to I love debating and loving. I like hearing your different perspective on things. I love disagreeing because I feel like I love challenging different ideas and thoughts. I think that's how you strengthen ideas and thoughts, is by challenging them, right? So, hey, James.
Yep.
So it's been fun,
My
guys.
ideas are up to be challenged, all of them.
So yeah. Have a good night, guys. It's been fun. Thank you for coming out.
5,000.
Y'all go ahead and have a good night.
Big moves, I'm that dude. Bet I see you from the top, yeah, real soon. Looking down on the haters that I've been through. Told them I'll see you later, yeah, big truth. I keep a real good pace. Built a big house, damn, look at that place. Up in my mind, cause that's my space. House so big, full of positive things. And I can't be shook, cause I ain't no rook, man, I wrote the book. Now I teach how to cook them beats like, look, making things look good. I just want trophies, blacks with a whole goal if you know me. Gotta go record on the wall, look closely. Got that record all alone like lonely. I'm just sick of waiting cause I feel it's frustrating when I always put the hours in. But ain't nobody wanna recognize independence, it threatens their continent. So I chase that bag, trophies are dope but I'd rather have cash. Sitting in the bank cause I paid my tax. Living my life, my way, my path, I go. Move fast, anyone who ain't hitting full gas. Who that choose that hard work, that wins true facts. I'ma go big, grind hard, throw a few jabs. Big hook next to the dome, knock her straight back down to the floor. Anyone in my way smacked, I don't take bad thoughts, no, I remove that. My team got good minds, I can prove that. I got these dreams that I've been chasing. I've got some things I've been upgrading. No one can stop me from this craving. Chasing. I've got these dreams that I've been chasing. I've got some things I've been upgrading. No one can stop me from this craving. You'll see me at the top one day. Yo, when it ain't toxic, shut your mouth and pick a different topic. Taking off like a rocket, got that energy, you can call me socket. Doing that boss-ish, all I do is focus on increasing that profit. Yeah, I'm on like a faucet, ready to make another deposit. Never been complacent since I was 8, I steady stay chasing. Always winning adjacent, side by side, grind hard in the basement. Ain't no replacement, only one me, yes, to the free agent. Cause I go where there's payments, otherwise I don't really have any patience. Making that honey, I wanna be something that's more than just money. I wanna teach others and see them becoming a version they never thought. Now they be hunting their goals and their dreams, yeah, all in their reach. They listen to me, the things that I preach, and change their whole lives to something belief. And now their own mind is all that they need. I'm loving the journey, got rid of the doubt and the worry. I'm moving no mercy, whatever I get I'm deserving. I put in the work in, I feel like I'm never done working. I always stay thirsty, cause it keeps me alive when I'm learning. Chasing, I got these dreams that I've been chasing. I got some things I've been upgrading. No one can stop me from this craving. Chasing, I've got these dreams that I've been chasing. I've got some things I've been upgrading. No one can stop me from this craving. You'll see me at the top one day. There's too much that's going on, I don't know what to do. Paralyzed by options in this world, can't pick and choose. Yeah, everybody's life is on display, including you. Yeah, I feel every day is just the same, stuck in a loop. I need some variety, I'm sick of this anxiety. I'm sick of this society, they make us feel a rivalry. Compare ourselves to others, but we all got different mothers. We were raised in different structures, so we're different, it's no wonder, yeah. I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time. Something I look back and say that was a great time. Cause man, I just hate when the years pass by the wayside. I'm so lost inside, and I need a little time to find who I am in this life. I will find a way to feel alive. I'm so lost inside. You better watch out now, I figured something out, what this whole life's about, yeah. It's not the goal, it's the journey, wasted emotion is worry. I'll stop being in a hurry, and I'll just enjoy what I'm doing. Keep pushing forward and moving, appreciate the improvement, yeah. I was so stuck on a goal, was losing sight of my soul. Need to enjoy getting old and be so present. I don't know if there's a heaven, but I know I wanna get in. And sometimes I feel a presence, energy in a direction, so I follow intuition. It took me to a musician, now I'm on a different mission, to help others with afflictions. Now I'm not lost inside, I finally have seemed to find who I am in this life, and I found a way to feel alive. I'm not lost inside, I finally have seemed to find who I am in this life, and I found a way to feel alive. Feel alive. It's a new day, and nothing's really quite going your way. You got bad news that's confusing, you got sad news that you're wounded.